Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about how Donald J. Trump, Cheeto Mussolini, the spray tanned Antichrist, the comb over calamity, decided to defund NPR and PBS. Because apparently, what this country really needs in the middle of a collapsing democracy and spiraling climate disaster is less puppets, less Bert and Ernie, less fucking Cookie Monster? You can't make this shit up. The the man saw Big Bird educating children and thought, this is a threat to national security. Like this man heard NPR's calm, rational analysis of foreign policy and went, fake news, boring, where are the dick jokes and conspiracy theories? All right, let's break it down. PBS and NPR are two of the last remaining non corporate, publicly funded, fact based educational media platforms in the entire United States, which is basically like being two nuns in a porn convention, dignified, outnumbered, and about to get fucked. PBS gave us Nova, Frontline, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Reading fucking Rainbow, Ken Burns documentaries, and the only British dramas Americans have ever pretended to understand. And NPR, they gave us All Things Considered, Fresh Air, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and more middle aged wisdom than a Whole Foods parking lot full of Subarus. But Trump? No, no, Trump said, defund them, cut them off, enemies of the state. Why? Because they tell the truth? Because they teach kids, I don't know, empathy, literacy, and critical thinking? Because when Trump hears This American Life, he thinks it's a communist plot. And when he sees Elmo, he's assumed it's Antifa in a red fursuit. So let's talk about economics. Do you know how much funding PBS and NPR get from the federal government? It's less than 500 million combined. 500 million. Meanwhile, we gave billions in subsidies to ExxonMobil and nobody batted a fucking eye. But God forbid we give Mr. fucking Rogers some lunch money so he can teach your kid how to tie their shoes and not grow up to be a Nazi. Trump will cut funding to PBS while shoveling cash into Space Force. Space Force, a military branch based entirely on Star Wars fan fiction. This is the same man who probably thinks Downton Abbey is about Hillary Clinton's satanic wine cellar. So let's talk about the real reason he hates them. It's not just that they educate kids and inform adults. It's that they don't suck his dick on air like Fox News does. Fox News is nothing but Trump's fluffer. NPR? NPR pronounces words correctly and uses facts. And that's a threat. PBS lets kids imagine a better world. Trump wants to drag them into his ego-driven hellscape where everyone is white, angry, rich, and addicted to ivermectin. PBS taught me the difference between wrong and right. Trump taught me the difference between wrong and felony. PBS says sharing is caring. Trump says unless it's classified documents that I've stolen from the White House. And don't get me started on the war crimes against Sesame Street. Like Trump tried to cancel funding for Sesame Street, the most beloved gang of Muppets since the fucking Muppets. Like, can you imagine being so evil that you go to war with Grover? Oscar the Grouch lives in a trash can. Trump lives in a gold tower. And Oscar's still the more relatable of the two. And you know why? Because Oscar never lied about a porn star payoff and tried to overthrow the government while wearing Depends. Elmo teaches kids emotional regulation. Trump teaches them how to throw ketchup at the wall when your fascist cosplay coup falls. And the gall, the fucking audacity of a man who can't read a teleprompter trying to defund Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow raised a generation of curious minds. Trump raised a generation of violent memes and erectile dysfunction ads. We got LeVar Burton. He gave us Marjorie Taylor Greene reading cue cards like she was sounding out her name at gunpoint. So let me be perfectly clear. Trump defunding PBS and NPR isn't just stupid, it's strategic because fascism doesn't need or want educated citizens. It needs angry mobs and unread Bibles. PBS makes you think. Trump wants you to just chant. And NPR makes you question. And Trump wants you to just obey. Sesame Street teaches you your ABCs, and Trump teaches you to fear CRT. But guess what? You can't kill Big Bird, bitch. You can't defund the network, but Big Bird will rise. He will rise like a yellow feathered phoenix from the ashes of American ignorance, and he will rise holding a copy of 1984 and handing out universal pre-K flyers and pecking Tucker Carlson's eyes out live on Fox News. And Oscar the Grouch, that grumpy old fuck is going to lead the revolution. He's been waiting his whole fucking life for this moment, from a trash can to the trenches. This is my time, bitches. I told you all the world was garbage. All right. So in conclusion, defunding PBS and NPR is like burning down the library because you can't pass a spelling test. It's like smoking a smash detector because you started the fire. It's like banning books because they contain facts and you only read menus and lawsuits. So let's keep fighting. Let's fund the fuck out of PBS. Let's keep NPR weird, brilliant, and unbought. And if Trump ever sets foot on Sesame Street, I hope Snuffleupagus drop kicks him to the fucking sun. So, good night, America. And remember, it's a beautiful fucking day in the neighborhood. Unless you're a fascist asshole.